I think the most important thing to take away, if you don't watch anything else in this video about diet or workouts, is that my body is something that I need to work with and not against. So I'm gonna pop a little picture right here. But I remember taking this picture and I remember feeling self-conscious. I remember feeling like my stomach wasn't flat enough. And I don't know about you, but I look at this picture now, I mean, I was tiny, I was little, and I still hated my body. It doesn't matter what size I am. I could be like this, or I could look like how I look now, and I'm still unhappy. So this is me in January of 2025 making part 2, and I wanted to cover kind of the things that happened between May and then where I am right now in my progress. So if you saw part 1, you know that I shared my workout journey of last year. And honestly, I was really hard on myself. One of the biggest lessons that I learned is that progress is not linear. Sorry, there was somebody walking their dog. It completely distracted me. One of the biggest lessons that I learned is that progress is not linear, and that is okay. You know, you saw in the videos, I was working out, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't really that consistent. I can't hate myself into loving myself. And again, you know, it was really hard to edit that first part of the video because I was just beating up myself so much. It actually made me sad. Instead of focusing on what I couldn't do or, you know, what I didn't look like, I focused on what I can do and celebrating the things, you know, that my body can do and what it does for me. The mindset and how I was able to piece like small things each week and kind of build upon that and actually see progress. It doesn't matter what size I am. If I'm not actually happy with my body, I'm not actually going to be happy with my body. And it didn't start because I gained weight. It didn't start because I don't look good in a bikini. It started many, many years ago. Who knows? It's something that I've been practicing for so long. And that is the single thing that I needed to overcome. And then something else that I also did was journaling, talking about my feelings. I got a therapist. And then I also started to use affirmations. So that's I am statements, but also just being grateful for the things that my body can do. Thankful that my body can take me to walk the dog. Thankful that my body can get me to the mailbox. Thankful that my body can carry groceries from the grocery store and, you know, bring them home. Just whatever I could find. Thankful that I can breathe. Thankful that I can sit. Thankful that I can stand. Like, we can go on and kind of go like on a rampage. You know, it's not just all about workouts. It's also about food and fueling your body. I had gotten into this really bad habit of eating McDonald's, specifically a quarter pounder meal from McDonald's, you know, Little Debbie snack cakes and just a bunch of junk food. I hired a dietitian, and the way I did that is through the Fay Nutrition app. I got an ad for it on Instagram. I saw that my insurance would probably cover it, and I was actually looking for one for my daughter, and then I ended up getting one for myself too. So I got one for myself, got one for my daughter, 2 different dietitians completely. My daughter's goal was to gain more weight. My goal was to lose weight. So we had 2 different goals. I came across this woman. Her name is Sterling Weaver, and I'll put her information below. She has changed my life. I don't know if you guys remember the pyramid that they had drilled into our heads, tested us on, made us believe. Like, that is non-existent anymore. So one of the things that she shared was this graphic of this 9-inch plate, and she talked to me about portions. Started by asking me like what I normally eat in a day. And I was telling her, like, you know, sometimes I eat breakfast, but I'll skip breakfast and just get to work. You know, I'll skip lunch, and then by the time 2-3, you know, rolls around, I'll be like a ravenous monster, and I'll just go in the kitchen and eat whatever I can eat, whether that's like a piece of cheese or like you know, a spoonful of peanut butter or like 3 spoons or some Little Debbie, because I don't have to cook it. It's like I'm so hungry that my body just wants me to like shove whatever I can in my mouth, and like that's really bad habit. Once you got the right mindset and you want to treat your body well, you want to love it, you want to feed it the foods that are good for it and all that stuff, and then that goes into making sure that you're choosing healthy options. So, you know, she was like, eat your normal breakfast. She's like, okay, we'll add a piece of fruit. And I was like, wow, add a piece of fruit. So simple. So we started there, very small. It wasn't like, hey, let's cut out all soda. Hey, let's never go to McDonald's again. It was eat your bagels, but add a piece of fruit. Let's start by creating more balanced meals. So then we started focusing on like, hey, let's drink more water and also eat balanced meals. Let's add more vegetables. Let's add another, let's add an orange to breakfast. Let's add an apple to breakfast. Let's add a salad to dinner, stuff like that. I would highly recommend, if you're kind of at a loss, I would highly recommend finding yourself a dietitian. And what I noticed is that the more that I started to shift my diet and to have more balanced meals and to eat more fruits and vegetables, it became easier to work out. It became easier to get out of bed. It became, easier to push myself to be a little bit stronger. I think the moral of the story is that she really showed me that food is fuel. It's not the enemy. It shouldn't be restrictive. So in the first part of my video, you can see that I did some yoga. I used my Peloton a lot, but when I moved, I actually sold my Peloton because I didn't have anywhere to keep it. And again, I knew that I was moving into like a more active community and I intended to get a gym membership. So switching from, doing home-based workouts to gym workouts, that might not be an option for everybody, but that is how I spent the second half of the year. I was also doing a lot of walking. I tried to start running and jogging, but I was getting the worst shin splints ever. It just wasn't worth it. So I bought a bicycle, and I live in like a beach community. So like beach cruisers are all over the place. And once the weather started to get a little bit cooler, started to become fall, now winter, we then went to the gym and we started to do weight resistance and cardio at the gym. If you want to know the workout that I'm doing right now in 2025, I am doing the workout that's on the screen. Go ahead and take a screenshot and you can save it for yourself. This was brought to you by ChatGPT. I'm not even kidding.